After the curiously neutered experience that was Mortal Kombat vs DC Universe, gaming's most violent fight franchise has returned to its former, full-blooded self.
Scorpion wins. Fatality.
The new Mortal Kombat takes its cues from the earliest entries in the series, and the end result is an experience that feels both old-fashioned and yet strangely fresh at the same time. The new 2.5D perspective has clearly been inspired by Street Fighter 4, but this isn't the only spot of contemporary design. NetherRealm Studios has obviously tried to update the series' old-school flavour, but while the expanded mechanics certainly lend new depth to the fights, at heart it's changed little from the game we played in the early 90s. In other words, it's still a bit clunky, especially when you compare it to Capcom's recent efforts. Happily, the best qualities of the series are still present and correct. It's very easy to pick up, and the theatrical violence remains as grotesque and entertaining as ever. The new X-ray attacks are an obvious visual highlight, although some people will feel that they're far too damaging, considering that they're extremely easy to pull off. Elsewhere, the infamous fatalities return, providing a multitude of ways to humiliate your opponent. Look beyond the shock and gore and you'll find an impressive level of detail in the presentation, particularly in the excellent Chopsocki sound design. It's also worth adding that there's an absolute ton of content here. From the surprisingly decent story mode, to tag team matches, to the 300-story high challenge tower. Here the core gameplay is endlessly tweaked and fiddled with, presenting you with minigames, handicap matches, and bizarre scenarios where you battle zombies or try to stop someone from giving you a cuddly toy. Beyond this, there's the long-term appeal of online play, as well as the vast treasure trove of unlocks and hidden characters. It's hard to know what absolute newcomers will make of it all, but for long-term followers of the series, this is manna from heaven. Indeed, this new Mortal Kombat feels like such a thorough piece of fan service. It's difficult to see how NetherRealm Studios will ever follow it up. Still, for now, that doesn't matter. Mortal Kombat feels like the return of an old friend. A thoroughly unhinged friend, but one we're delighted to have back.